The leopard is one of the most agile predators on Earth. Watching him hunt, especially in slow motion, is a real feast for the eyes of an animal enthusiast. What this cat can do is beyond comprehension. The fact that it hunts from the ground is not surprising, because all cats also delight here, like the ultimate sprinter, the cheetah, which is no less of an impressive hunter. The leopard, however, what the cheetah does on the ground can also do in the treetops. Here, he's even more agile than a monkey, as this video proves. The way he jumps from branch to branch after its monkey prey, how he drives it into the dead end in the canopy and finally pounces. All this high above the ground among the thin branches is a real masterpiece. In today's episode, I will prove it is an extremely versatile predator with incredible efficiency. He can make 26 feet 8-meter jumps, strike from the ground, from the air, and among the branches high on trees. Why does it kill so many people even though it's only the 4th largest cat on Earth? We'll cover all that in today's episode. Welcome! Here's a leopard that got into a school in India and caused a panic while injuring 3 people. The police and relevant services were called to the site, which put the cat to sleep in order to transport it away from the city and release it. Here is a similar situation, a hunt for a leopard in an Indian village. The leopard causes panic. People grab sticks and anything they can find to defend themselves and overpower the animal. One of them even has a firearm, but chaos and panic take over. Another situation, again in India. Leopards live across Africa and Asia, but when you look at the statistics of leopard attacks on humans, the vast majority of them happen in India. Why? Just a few years ago, the most populous country in the world was clearly China. At the end of last century, things started to change. India started to catch up with China, and currently it's already more populous. Such a pace of demographic growth is associated with urbanization, but also the increasing expansion of people into wild areas, the areas inhabited by our protagonist, the leopard. It's no wonder that there are scenes like we see in these recordings. It's not the leopards that invade the cities, but rather the cities and the people that invade the land of the leopard. People destroying habitats and limiting the leopard's natural food base force it to look for food elsewhere, even by hunting people. And it must be admitted that leopards have what it takes. Here is a photo from 1901 of an African village. This photo shows a leopard on the body of its last victim, just after it was shot by a British officer. This single leopard killed at least 20 people before it was shot dead. This individual developed a taste for human flesh and became a man-eater. There are many similar cases in history, and some leopards, before they were killed, took the lives of even several dozen people or more. Leopards called man-eaters give up their natural food base and specialize in hunting people. Why is this happening? The answer is complex and includes the origins of leopards. The diet of modern leopards includes primates such as baboons, but also great apes such as chimpanzees or even gorillas, because females and young of these powerful monkeys also fall prey to leopards. Not only that, when you look further in prehistory, it turns out that our ancestors also died in the jaws of these cats, because many, both early and later hominid fossils indicate leopard attacks. The fossilized bones have holes in their skulls and necks that exactly match the leopard's dentition. Therefore, the fact that leopards prey on humans is not unusual from the point of view of biology. Everything indicates that our ancestors were victims of leopards, just as chimpanzees and baboons are today. Nowadays, of course, things have changed significantly. Most people don't live near wild areas, and those that do have access to weapons. Leopards rightfully fear humans and usually hunt other prey. However, it was noticed that a shift in their behavior can occur when they taste human flesh. Such situations have happened in history in times of wars or epidemics, when human corpses became an easily available food for leopards, often being simply abandoned in the wilderness. In fact, all predators exhibit this tendency in such a situation, most notably wolves. It is another reason why burial or cremation is obligatory across all cultures and religions. After tasting human flesh, most often from a successful human hunt, leopards give up their natural prey. And it should be noted here that a human being, especially a small woman or a child, is an easy prey for a large cat. There is even a case from India where a leopard jumped into a pen full of sheep and goats, but did not kill any animal, but a boy who was sleeping while guarding the pen. This was a man-eating leopard which had already killed many and started to specialize in hunting people, ignoring the sheep and goats in the pen. Such cases are rare, but they still happen, most often in India. We have drawn a slightly demonic picture of a leopard, but let's remember that among the big cats, the leopard is not unique in this respect. It's not the only man-eater. Nature doesn't differentiate victims between humans and non-humans. The decisive factor is the availability of food, the ease of obtaining it, and above all, hunger. Drought, or lack of natural food, which is most often caused by humans, puts predators in dilemmas: starvation or finding new prey. And believe me, even domestic cats, if only were bigger, would also likely kill people, and there would be even cases of attacking and eating their own guardian. Cats are completely different animals than dogs. But let's switch topics. The leopard is found primarily in Africa, and it is this continent that we associate it with the most. As you can see on this map, the dark green color represents its current certain range. The light green color represents fragmented distribution, and it covers a big part of Asia. The leopard is much smaller than a lion or a tiger, and their prey can be also stolen by hyenas. So, leopards have a certain innate strategy. They love trees. They are great at climbing them, and it is where they most often rest, and even drag their victims up there, for which they are famous. They do it very efficiently and can even pull a young giraffe up a tree. They place their prey somewhere high in a tree where they can consume it peacefully for several days. The leopard is almost an arboreal cat. Leopards lounging on branches is one of the most famous images of African wildlife. These predatory cats very often hunt from trees. The attack from the air looks amazing and also proves the prowess of this ingenious animal. The already mentioned treetop hunts, while chasing a monkey or a bird, is a real masterpiece of predation. He acts like a bullet, fired to hit the target at any cost. As a counterbalance to these acrobatic performances of our hero, let's look at the confrontation between a leopard and a python. This encounter arouses consternation in both predators because both don't know what to do with the other. Theoretically, any of them could be a victim here. The entwined leopard could get strangled, but it nimbly wriggles out of the grip of death. He grabbed the python by the head with its teeth, and it was the python for whom this meeting turned out to be the last. It could have easily gone both ways. Here we see the reverse situation. It's the leopard that dies. Why is it black? This so-called black panther is a melanistic leopard. Quite rare, it has a genetically increased amount of dark pigment, although in good light, you can still see the characteristic spots on the body of black leopards. It is easy to mistake a leopard with a jaguar, a cat from across the ocean from Latin America. It's heavier and more massive and has a larger head and a slightly different pattern on the body. This diagram illustrates the differences. Sometimes, both leopards and jaguars are confused with the famous African sprinter, the fastest cat in the world, the cheetah. This one, however, as you can see, has a completely different silhouette, and everyone should easily distinguish it. The jaguar and the leopard, however, are indeed very similar. Jaguars also have a black, rare, melanistic variety. Interestingly, leopards, during the last ice age, lived all across Europe. Currently, they still live in the cold forests of Siberia on the border of China and Russia. They are so versatile that chances are they could survive and even thrive in a forest near you. That is something to think about the next time you take a walk. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.
Wow, you get that?